All right, so let's just kind of start talking about the weekly, right? So in terms of the weekly, right, and acceptance of value, this is our current week, right? This is our last week's. I think we already rejected
As somebody
this.
who's worked from home the past 4 years, I've gone
What
through
time is
quite.
this? This is our prior week value area low. This is ultimately what they want to be above, right? And ETH today, they hit this perfectly and they rejected. It's a pretty good rejection so far, right? Where they closed, we'll cover on daily, but as of right now, are we doing framing up, framing down on the weekly?
Neither.
Well, you're not framing up yet, right? And we need them to close where? Right, I tagged the wrong level. Would this be
No,
level fairly
seeing those
important?
previous highs, I mean, where they're currently at, definitely lower.
Yep, so they're holding previous week value area low, which is, and you see where they're bouncing a few times, right? Today during the FMOC, right, they came back and they hit this multiple times. So I wouldn't be shocked, honestly, if the FMOC didn't do this time. I would say, if the news don't push the market one way or another, they typically are going to proceed with the level that they are trying to go to. And where are they trying to go to? Are they trying to go lower?
They're trying to get back up in that penthouse again.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to get in here. And if you think about it, right? So that would be this level. That's the low, and I'm just gonna grab these value area highs here, and that'll be the area. And look what that is. It's a low volume node, and that's what they're trying to get in, right? If they can get in above this, watch out, because then most likely they can probably take off to this level here. And I would just mark this. And what would this be for newer folks? What would you guys call this?
A version POC?
Yeah, that's a virgin POC on a weekly time frame, and that's a pretty big magnet, right, to have. And I would mark this as a prior week value area high. What are the odds if we reclaim this 11.5 that we're gonna hit 53.5?
80.
Pretty high.
Yeah, 80%. I just want to make sure you guys are on the same page. Yeah, there's a pretty strong probability, right, that we're gonna go all the way up there. And how's this value area compared to the previous ones we had? This one compared to like this one, and let's say this one or this one. How's this one?
More narrow.
Short time and
Narrow.
compressed.
Yeah, short time compressed. So the probability of that 80% is really, really, strong chance that we will, because the placement, I'm sorry, the width of the value is pretty narrow. So if they're able to get that, there's a really, really high chance. And if you want to play it safe, let's say we go up and we retest this 11, and then we take it here, maybe take off some profit and then watch for a pump above, come back, or anywhere here above and look for a long and drive to 53. That's probably a probable scenario coming up, right, for the market from the weekly standpoint. But in order to do that, what do they have to do tomorrow? What about this level? Would this play a role? Do you want to see them above this level? I'll probably say 84-ish just because of, you guys look here. Is there any value shift here? In this little tiny box on 65 minutes? Probably looks better on smaller time frame. Look, does that look like a value shift to you guys?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a value shift, right? On a smaller time frame. What they agreed on at one point that was here, they came back, they got rejected, they got rejected, they got rejected. So they really want to get in probably above this 84, right? If they're able to do that, I would say strong chance that you're going to run it to 11, and I'll play those levels accordingly, okay? And then of course, I'd mark this level here, pretty big one.
Hey, Shorty, does it matter if it's already there overnight? Or
Where
above?
is it?
It's at 90.
Oh, well, they gotta hold this then, 84. They don't want to lose that because that'd be another rejection. Right? And then on a daily, even though today was, I would say, pretty binary event, and I think there's a lot of earnings. I know Tesla had a pretty disappointing earnings. But let's see what we got on a daily. I'm gonna hide weekly for a second. Yeah, I pay attention to overnight, right? But you know, I'm interested to see how the cash session does tomorrow. Oh man, they left it pretty open on both sides. Do you guys see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, unfinished auction, both sides.
Yeah, it's finished, right? But it's not like, you know, we found buyers.
Selling time.
Yeah, this is the, you know, the borderline, right? And then you go up top and, you know, there's a little bit more access here than there is, you know, on the bottom, but it's nothing major. And remember, I would say we are within what? Let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. Or are we within a 3-day range, or I think it's 3s. Yeah. Is this a 3-day overlap? So this high overlaps with these lows. So this is what, 3-day range, right? So you could simply just do this and you got your weekly time frame. That's the levels that we drew. So certainly I would want them if they can spend time above 75. If they can get acceptance above this 84 here, which probably should be sig 2 somewhere. Oh, sig 2 all the way up top. Maybe not. So if they can get acceptance above 75, they're gonna probably have trouble at 84. And if they can reclaim that, then, you know, I would expect us to go to 611. This is still a zone to watch out. They can peak above and fail. You want to watch for that, but just a gut feeling tells me they're going to peak tomorrow inside of this or above this, and then we'll find out what happens. So for me, I want them to spend, you know, if they're already above it, they got to hold this 75. If they fail to hold this level, what do you guys see quickly happening? Let me give you a clue. Let me increase this. What happens if they lose this level, like 75?
In the previous week low.
Previous week low.
The odds of that playing out, guys, are freaking high. Like there's a really chance that you can pocket this really quickly, and you know, 2 points, 31.5 points would be pretty good. Is there a chance that they would bounce on the overlapping values here? Yeah, but considering that the value actually shifted between the 2 days is somewhat bearish, but there's a signal that the market's telling you something clearly, and you guys know what that is between these 3 days. Anyone? Market's telling you something in these past 3 days. I just want to see who sees it.
It wants to go up
Why do you say that?
because it's tried a couple of times to break that 6100 level,
Okay,
or
but
came
that's
pretty close to it. It's
okay, but think of it differently, right? So where do we try to go and we got rejected? How about like if you look at Monday? Is this our Monday?
right.
So we tried to get inside the Monday's range, and what happened? They quickly
Failed.
came out of it,
They
right?
bought it up.
Yeah, they bought it up.
They-
So they're telling you, hey, we are rejecting this area, and this would be your Tuesday's access high, right?
Mhm.
So they're clearly telling you, hey, we do not want to trade inside this value here. If they get inside this value, that's going to be a sell-off, most likely a lot lower than this. As of right now, they're not screaming On the 3 days, they're saying more bullish. On the weekly, what are they saying? On
What do you
weekly,
mean?
we need to get in above this. We need to reject this value that they're building and claim it to go higher and see if we find what here. Starts with A or R.
That it's all rejected.
Yeah, that's what we want to know. We want to know if you're going to get accepted or rejected. Like I said, I would treat each one of these levels as key levels for reclaim 11. High odds that you're going to go here to this node, right? But if you go above and fail, most likely you're going to come back and test this zone here that you're in. And you can look here, right? I mean, this just repeats over and over. If you look at this was a 2-day balance. Look, we dipped lower. And what they say about this range here? This orange range.
They bounced right off it.
Accepted.
They didn't want to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're accepting prices higher, right? We went up here, we found buyers, and now buyers are saying, nope, we don't want to go here. I would say there's a high chance, depending on earnings, right? I don't know. I think Microsoft might have had it. Tesla had it. I think Apple's tomorrow. Tomorrow we also have big news. Do you guys know what's on the agenda tomorrow? So you guys have a little calendar. Should be jobless claims tomorrow, right? So you have jobless claims, and then you have core PCE prices quarter over quarter, right? But this should be pretty big number here. That's important. And then I think there's some auction happening after in the afternoon, so which can definitely push the market. And then I think, if I'm not wrong, Apple's earnings are tomorrow. Yeah, they have to be tomorrow. They're never on Friday. So Apple earnings are tomorrow. So that can, it can spook the market. And I know Tesla had bad ER, but I think they're gonna just destroy the derivative market tomorrow with those. And then we'll probably get a late decision on the market. It's gonna be probably 3:30 to 4, might get a little volatile tomorrow. Okay. So does that make sense? Is everybody clear that we're kind of rejecting this, and then this access high here is pretty decent, right? I would say you can mark this. Access low is pretty good, and that's your developing weekly value area low. If you do come to this level, would you short here? Is this a zone to be shorting?
Long.
No, definitely not. We don't want to short here. We're looking for loss, reclaim, go long. And then when let's say they lose this tomorrow, somebody said, let's see where we are. Okay, we are above it, right? So we are trading right here at 91. Let's say we get rejected here and they come back to this level, which now happens to be your 3-day value area high. This is not a level for a short right here. You guys see it? We got inside. We're trying to build value out of current developing value area high, much higher, right? And this is such a weird, I hope you guys see this. This is such a weird ledge here. That's pretty interesting. That is a really weird ledge at 72.5. And 72.5, does anyone remember what that was?
1.6.
Yep, so it's right here. I think they rejected it today many times, right? So they had some here, they rejected it below, then they traded in the range. So I think it's a pretty important level to carry forward, right? I have it marked on my left side, on the right side, so I tried to keep this more short time frame levels, dailies and weeklies on this chart. Okay, does everybody understand the game plan? Are you picking up on the price, acceptance, rejections, and what it really means?
Crystal clear.
Perfect.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
There's probably a high chance that, let me just look at this on a smaller to give any of these pajama traders. Okay, so if we lose this level here, 89, there's a strong chance you're gonna go all the way to 75 tonight. So if you're trading tonight, I would keep an eye on that. So most likely it would do something like this. Maybe peak here, and then it would just go here, here, and then it would do a dance, and it'd be at this level. I'd keep an eye on this if you're trading overnight. That's what, like 15 points. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'll trade live. Well, we'll let the jobless claim shake people out, and then we'll hop on and go from there. Hopefully, it's more exciting morning than this today.
God, I hope.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I just couldn't watch it. I hopped off, and then I switched my doctor's appointment so that I'm free tomorrow in hopes of a better day.
Yeah, I didn't trade today either.
The best traders know when not to trade. Today was a good day not to trade. So, hope that makes sense, man. You learn not to trade this crap. Like, this is not a day you, I would say, want to be trading too much. All right, guys.
I've
Well,
been
thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys tomorrow live. Sunday, we're gonna do a class again. We covered volume profile. We're gonna cover the orbs, the orb indicators, right? And I'm gonna go over the clouds because we have new members, just to kind of explain how we look at them. Long term, you could play them. Short term, I'll go over the setups on that as well if you're interested. And then cover all the indicators that you guys get. You get the orbit VWAP, you get the clouds, and you also get the orbs. And orbs have a lot. So that's what we plan on covering in class. And I'll add bits and pieces of volume for confirmation. So for people that are just starting trading, that might be a good class not to skip. Orbs are pretty automated, right? They give you pretty much, I'll bring them on real quick here. Where are they? Right here. So I hate this drawing. So let me see here. So this is your orbs, right? So you have the orb high. Oh, this is IBH and IBL. I don't know why is this. Oh, it's because it's ETH. I'm sorry. There it goes. So if you look at this, they'll give you the orb low, the orb highs right here, and they give you the targets above and the PDH, PDOs. So there's a lot of stuff that the indicator has. It doesn't mean all of it's like needed for trading. Some of it's just information. Like see, you have the IBH and IBL also is marked here. And you see that your 30-minute and 1 hour are still in the same range that you should be able to pick up based on this. The middle is here, and then you see how many times they rejected that middle today, right? So it's fairly important. Then you look at the levels, they hit pretty much all the levels here. 1272 hit, they hit the 2618 extension. Typically, as soon as you get to these two, you can expect some bounces, right? Because that's extremely extended. It's almost like 3 standard deviations, when you look at the sigmas, right? And then here you have some arrows, you have the trend bar. So we'll go over that and what that means. And then you also have something called daily, weekly, and monthly pivots. And I think people can speak on this, in the Discord. These levels hit and they're fairly important for you guys to understand. I'll go over how they're calculated, what they mean, where do you want them when you're trading. And then of course, anything else here. We also have the trend bar. That's a little green line that flips red, green, that tells you, and I typically use that. You can use it on 15 minutes and it's excellent, right? Especially when you get these little arrows and purchases, it works pretty well, right? And you'll see it here, pops up. It'll give you a good indication on how to look at the market, but don't think of this as, oh, you said buy. You should always look for confluence, and we'll go over that, right? And how do we pair that with, the VWAP? So like this one here, how do you pair all that with VWAP and how many confluence points do you need to take a trade to be more successful than not? So we'll cover that this Sunday. So plan on like 2-hour class. Probably really good for newer folks. If you're new to trading and you're not familiar with a lot of stuff, orbs are to help you there, honestly, because it does take a lot of emotions out. It's just an extension of 100% if you take this. Let me find a stock I haven't traded. Let's look at NVIDIA. I hide a bunch of stuff so you can see it. So let's say I'm interested to know the range of from here to here, right? So if I grab that, I would just take the high to the low, and then I will flip these to extensions. And then I would go and enable the 200%. And there's the 200%. So that's the 100% from here to here. Yeah. Well, I never played A, B, C, D that way, right? A, B, distance between A and B will equal the CD, right? So. Well, your range that you grab is 100%. So to double 100% is what? So 200. That's correct. So if you look at this on a higher time frame, let's look for one. What stock has movement? Tesla had a lot of movement lately. Yeah,
That's
so
what I
if
was about to say. So if you took like a range and you wanted to start at the 50% of that range you picked, yes,
then
then
you are
it
looking
would,
at 150. That's correct.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, that's correct. So if you look here, right, I just grabbed this range, right? So you could go off of this range and you could add, like I can change this one here to 1.5. And then I can have this, and that would be my entry for you. And then you could use you could use this to figure this out more accurately, right? You could find this and use this, and then use this as an extension. Let's enable just this one and change this to 1.5. So now you see, right? If I grab, this is the proper way to do the fib extensions. You're looking for this range from this retrace. We're looking for replication from here to find 100% of this move would be here at 323. So there's a high chance within 6 to 8 weeks that Tesla will be here. If they lose this low, that's what you get. And for ABC, you would do the same thing. You're just not trend-based fib extensions. So trend-based fib extensions are 3 points because you have to reconsider the retracement period. So this is our swing high, swing low, and a retrace to here. So wait, okay. This, well, yeah, so this one should be, this one, what is it that this one should be? If AB equals the same as C and D, what is that? 100%. So think about this. Then if you use fib-based extensions, if I go from here to this, then their pattern needs to go like this. They should have made it where it calculates. They should have done this D automatically. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So No, it makes sense. Yeah, I just wish they would have automated when you grab AB that they should draw the CD. Yeah, calculating. That's correct. No, it's the right mindset. Yeah, it's the right mindset. But I would use trend-based fibs, and this would be your D, for instance, in this case. And SPY is pretty good if you use 5 minutes on like trading. If you scalp this, right, you could use this. So watch now here. I'll give you guys a quick lesson. What do you want? Long, short? What do you guys want? So let's look at, there's one here. There's one here. Yeah. So if you do something like this, you could look.
You can short around 603 too.
Yeah. So I could use this, and basically 50% of this move would be here, right? And you see they came there, but I usually don't rely on 50% moves like you guys. I guess somebody does. I usually do 127. 14. Oh, this one? Oh, oh, sorry. Here. Okay. Like here? Like here? For this? Yeah, you could definitely do that. The way I used like this, right? And it's just that we haven't had much range movement. So let's see what we got. Let's buy. Let me look at this move here, the bigger move. So if I look at, for instance, if I look at this low to here, like what are the targets that are gonna project? So I could certainly use same concept, right? It would be this, this, then the 100% would be your D in this case, right? So look, retraced, and then when 100% D, and you can see that level's been pretty sticky, right? So you could definitely use this, right? And I typically use 1618 off of these moves, right? So I usually go with this as my key target. So, and even on smaller time frames, if you just go with 2-3 minutes. Here, this is a pretty good one here, I would say. The highs to the lows to here. What did we hit? Perfectly right. So you could definitely use this. I think this is a tool, but this is only good for trending, right? This is not very good for bracketed markets. Yeah. And a lot of people that I see, right, that are trading, people call it FVGs and whatever the hell you guys want to call it. It's nothing more than an auction imbalance, unfortunately, right? You can call it flowers if you want. If you have, yeah, it's been there since 1976. So, so if you guys think about this, right, there's no FVGs inside of a bracket. There's no imbalances that are important inside of a bracket. This is a bracket that we've been in since yesterday, right? So if you see like there's an FVG here, oh my God. So look, they probably found an FVG here and they're like, I'm gonna go along here. The probability of imbalances inside of a balanced market to work are minimal. On a trending day, the odds are much higher, right? I would say the probability on a trending day, if you have an imbalance, let's see, like this day here, if you guys look, I'm sure we'll find one. So they consolidated, and then you see that, they cracked this consolidation. They gave you that, and then there are some, I would say, imbalances here. If you guys look, they came back for the retest. They gave you another one. Was there another imbalance? Yep, there's one right here. Look, trending day, it's going to work. But these are just auction imbalances because remember, it has nothing to do with what the hell you call it. This is all about you have the ask, right? So you have the ask and you have the bid. What do you think happens when you have an imbalance like this? What happens in the order book? what happens here?
Get absorbed.
But that book gets swept, meaning they absorb all the orders on that price level, so we have to seek sellers higher. So if there was 300 people selling at that level, 200 here, I'm just throwing stuff out just to give you guys an example. I don't know if this is the case. So what they do is like somebody comes in and it's like, oh, 500 market buy. And these are gone. Then you go to the next level and that will be pretty much your imbalance. Aggressive buyers eating liquidity from where? It was on your class 2 weeks ago. You guys forget? Let me see if I have it. Who eats liquidity?
Is it
Where?
from the ask? From the ask, from the responsive sellers?
Yeah, so from the ask, the market buyers eat the liquidity, right? So let me see. I'm sure I have a slide for you guys. I think here. Okay. You guys remember this? You guys recall this from the class?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So look, provides the liquidity in the ask. Aggressive buyer takes the liquidity from the ask. And we talked about this. Let's see. Let me see if I can find the other slide. Okay, so what about this, right? This is exactly what happens in the market. For the price to move up one level, buyers must consume those 75 limit orders. So when you see a large imbalance that looks like this, and then candles leave this, basically they just bought a bunch of orders here. They swept the order book. That's what it's called. They sweep the order book, and then you go to the next level. And then if anyone wanted it at 103, let's say Rockets wanted it at 103, what happens to Rockets? It doesn't get filled.
He doesn't get filled.
Yeah, there's a chance it doesn't get filled. So maybe if he's a big institutional buyer, let's say Rockets had 480 contracts and this guy was buying 1,000. Just giving you a hypothetical scenario. Well, Rockets keeps his order there, we auction higher, and then we come back here. What happens at this level?
They go higher.
That's called defense. They come in and those buyers fill their orders, and people that got there initially orders, maybe they get in, they're like, oh, we're going to get some more. They get in, people that were short cover, then you get a spring. Does that make sense? That's your FVGs.
Wait, can you just explain one more time how they get back down there?
Yeah, somebody shorts it.
Okay. Yep.
So when you short it, right? When you're short to close a position, what do you have to do?
You have to sell.
You have to buy.
Oh, okay.
If you're selling something, you're betting that you can buy cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just like shoes.
Uh-huh.
If you're selling them at 1,200, you're not going to be buying them at 1,200, are you?
No. Yeah.
Okay. You're going to go back somewhere and be like, hey, can I get more pair of shoes at 800?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to sell your inventory at 12, buy at cheaper prices. And that's what you do as shorting. You short it at 12, but you have to buy to cover at lower prices.
That makes sense.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'll schedule the class for Sunday. If you guys are interested in joining, we're going to have 12 spots open on the 1st. So you're welcome to try it out, see if it fits your life and your learning. And we can go from there. Thank you, guys. See you guys tomorrow morning.
Thanks, Shorty.
Thank you. Good night.